Transformation in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome in, welcome in. So glad you're here. Oof, I pulled this, look at Destiny. I pulled this deck out. It's the Starlight. Starlight. It's like little bits of things. And the first thing it said was control and destiny. And like, do we have control over our destiny? Do you believe in destiny? Do you believe you have free will? Well, I'm hearing accountability. I'm hearing responsibility. What is that? Like eternity. It says, give yourself permission to slow down. Very interesting. It's like you have the time, we have the time. Look, protect your energy and hold your stars close. Again, that idea of control, eternity, repercussions. I'm hearing repercussions. So whatever that means, I pulled the ball out this morning and immediately a giant letter T came out. That could be in someone's name. That could be a place, a time, right? Take it how it resonates at 101. We got Chaos Kitten here, ancestors, spirits, guides. What messages do you have for the collective today? Ooh. And now I'm seeing the letter F and what looks like a dog like standing up on its feet like this. Like this idea of like begging. It's a completely different spot where the letters have changed. What are you doing? Kibo is here. Yeah, now there's like a cavern and a cave. I'm also seeing someone walking with a baseball cap. I can't really see their face, but it's like they're on a mission. There's like a relaxed bit about it because the hat is on backwards, but it could also be like they change that around the bill around so that the wind, it doesn't knock the hat off. Maybe it's all like a styling thing. It's like a younger energy, like a youthful energy, or maybe more informal, right? But like they're like on a mission, they're walking, they're in charge. It's like, or like on charge, like let's go, let's go. It definitely has this like quick moving feel about it. And then we have that eternity, give yourself permission to slow down. It could be like this feeling of hubris, this feeling of excitement, and again, that like on a mission but informal kind of a feeling. And then now I'm seeing a giant hummingbird, which is really contradictory because they're very tiny creatures, but they flap and they move and they have this ability to hover. And there's this idea of like being like the laws of physics don't always apply to you. Like the things that you're doing are maybe impossible, or maybe even more grandiose than what is expected from something. You feel like you're small, but there's magic in you, and that magic is really big. And there's like this amplification, this feeling of like amplification, and you being able to do something that's seemingly impossible. The way that they hover, right? The way that they just, and you can't even see their wings. It's like there's this feeling, and it's accompanying the guy walking with the baseball cap. And these are large images in this ball. These aren't like tiny images far in the background. These are like in the forefront of the energies today. So be on the lookout. Maybe that's you, maybe that's someone else, right? Coming through with big messages, big energies, trying to make the impossible possible, trying to make that happen, right? Bring the magic in and kind of do it in a more informal way, more youthful way. Yeah, but like, dude, the determination. Oh, the determination. Now I'm seeing the letter E. So we had T, F, and E come through so far. That one's a little bit broken. And then it also is kind of looking like arrows pointing up. It looks like a bind rune coming through. Be careful of your energy, right? Full moon, protect your energy and eternity. These letter E's that are coming through here, right? And North Star was underneath that. It says, hold your ground and shine bright and unwavering to thrive, right? So give yourself permission to slow down. Ooh, I almost said throw down. So be careful with that. You know what I mean? These energies are, don't get boxed into something. Don't get like taken into something that's going to disturb your peace, right? That's going to disrupt your flow. That's going to move you off the path that you are determined to go down, that your destiny is taking you down, right? You have the free will and the accountability to choose which direction you want to go, where you want to place that determination. And that could be like part of this like seemingly impossible stance, right? This like thing. And again, you know, I'm hearing fly casual, like no pressure. It's like you're not putting you're not contributing to the stress of the environment. And if there is stress in the environment, you're like quickly, you know, like moving, it's still here, moving away from there. And that could also be the letter P. Wow, lots of letters coming through today. Do we see anything else? I'm seeing it's like a you know, those cameras that you could take a picture with when you were a kid. What were they called? Come on, you guys are helping me out. You know this. It was like the little circle disc, and it had all the pictures in it. You look at the light would shine through it, give you a 3-dimensional, and you click the thing and you click the thing and it would give you a new image, and they would all be three. There's that idea of this. I'm seeing like desert in the background. I'm seeing like stacked red rocks, like maybe Utah, and other places in the world have similar rock formations, Garden of the Gods, maybe even in Colorado, right? Those kinds of things, like through that image. Well, what's interesting is like the whole camera was the image. It wasn't like looking in and seeing it through the viewfinder, right? In there, it was, maybe that's what they were called, but it was like the entire shape of a camera and then this image. And it's like, you know, like deserts, right? What thirsty earth, not having enough to sustain, but at the same time having the fortitude to last through the eternity. Like, what are we putting our contributions into? What are you moving forward, right? Protect your energy and hold your stars close. And that figure being very close in the foreground is like, you know, and the hummingbird being gigantic. You know, sometimes when things are closer to us, they're larger, and it's atmospheric perspective, it's perspective drawing. Like the further away they get, the smaller the object appears. And that could be that this is this message, this magic, this impossibility is like right up in your face. It's so close you could almost reach out and touch it. It looks larger than life, right? You hold it close to you, hold your stars close to you for eternity, right? So that you can maintain control over your destiny. That's what's coming through here. Wow, big, big, big messages. I pulled out this deck and I don't want to use it. I don't want to use it before we get to tarot. The animals are calling us. On the bottom, look, miracles are endless. Check that out. Check that out. We will get tarot. Ancestors, spirits, guides. Ooh, what other interesting things do you have today? I heard on the palette. I heard on the plate. Reclaim your power, Panther Spirit. There's that big P. Panther Spirit, reclaiming your power. Number 44. The stability there. And I just saw 747 on my clock. The stability there, and also like it's like there's a stealthness, right? I used to have a really like jet black dog, and you could not see him, and we called him nighttime camouflage because he was like ninja, right? He could just move through the spaces of shadow without being seen, right? And it's like that whole idea of like reclaiming your power, but giving yourself permission to slow down, right? Be on the prowl. This is not this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is not a race. All right. Protect your energy and hold your stars close. There you go. Right? Protecting your energy, like protecting your cubs, protecting your place, protecting your territory, protecting your work, but mostly protecting your power, protecting your ability to make those take that control over your manifestations. Right? Number 44. Solid at 848, right? 747 and then 848. This is solid energy. Wow. And then the brown bear, and it says take a time out. Again, give yourself permission to slow down to protect, to slow down to maintain. And again, like it's like so close, right? So close. There's that feeling of like hubris, wanting to push through, getting excited, thinking that we have the information, we have the knowledge, we have the ability, but yet the timing isn't quite there. The maturation isn't quite there. there is this seemingly impossible thing that's right up in your face, and you just want to be able to reach out and grab it. You want to be able to reach out and reclaim that power. This is advising you to be stealth, be ninja, right? Practice your ninja skills. Be camouflage. If that's within the shadows, I'm not saying you are not a shadow, light and dark, yes, but do not like fall into the darkness of yourself by reclaiming your power, being able to walk through it without it affecting you, without it draining you, and then taking the time out to really be able to look at it. And here's this hand. This hand is constantly showing up in the crystal ball. Constantly showing up in the crystal ball. That idea, and I even painted one the other day. Is like I used to do studies of hands because it's something that's attached to you that you look at all the time that you miss parts of, right? So if you're going to try to like draw something, plus it's a lot easier to fill in that blank, right? In your mind, it's like, how do you, what is it versus where your mind would fill in the blank as to the reality of what is actually there being observed, right? Take that time so that you can find out where those shadows are, right? And hold them close to you as you're moving through. There's this protective energy here. Number 9 being so close. I'm hearing number 9. What's on the bottom? 33. Freedom is yours, the horse spirit. Yep. And in order to maintain that stability, 33, 44, and 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. Double numbers, 44, 33, right? Creation, protection. You are there. I'm hearing you're there amongst the field of flowers. You're there amongst the field and grove, the center space. Thank you. All right, we're going to use the Gregory Scott Tarot. We had originally pulled out something else, but that's not where we're going. Gregory Scott Tarot. In loving memory always. Now I'm sure spirit guides, ancestors, spirits, guides. What can you tell us about this today for everyone watching? For our greatest and highest good. Ooh, what are we slowing down on, first of all? What are we slowing down on? 2 of Wands. Having to rush to make a decision, right? Being at a crossroads. Slow down. If you've made the decision that you've made, or you know which direction that you're going, take it easy, right? Because this is about reclaiming the power. And also being at that space of like teetering is really draining you. It's really draining you. Not knowing which way to go, making a definitive choice, or taking that whole decision. You know what? Maybe I don't want to go down either of those roads. It's up to you. You will know for you. This is that what is like, freedom is yours, right? Freedom is yours, and protect your stars and hold them close. I just want to see she's got this crystal ball there. We had our crystal ball there. Hold it close. Hold your treasures close, your spirit close. Look, Knight of Swords. This guy's getting yelled at here. This guy is like giving him the business about something. Maybe it's time to take a time out from conflictual energy, from conflict, from like that like pressure to have to go a certain way, or people trying to take the power via their, trying to take control over you, over your freedom, over your energy, over your star, taking all of those things without your permission. And now you are giving yourself permission to slow down, to hold up, to take a look around, and to reclaim your power, right? Because this is this direction of like push is just not where you want to go. Freedom is yours. You'll be peace underneath that, and it is 21, which equals 3, and the 9. It's okay to breathe. I'm hearing it's okay to breathe. What else, Spirit? What else? This one, yeah, 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, we don't want to argue. Anything that's disturbing your peace, and you might need to like stealthily move around that argument. But if that's where the light is taking it, then you don't want to do that. Look, Death and the Tower in the reverse, scorpionic energy. Scorpionic energy coming out, right? Through this transformation, there will be no more disruptions in your path, but they're gonna, your grounding is solid. It's not going to be able to pull that rug out from underneath of you anymore. It's not going to be able to upset you. You have maintained and obtained balance. There is a transformation. There's definitely something is definitely looking quite differently, right? Like they're falling out of that tower. Is she flying away? Freedom is yours. Right? It's not shocking to you, and it really isn't shocking to anyone else that those things have to be left in the past, right? What might be shocking to you is what's on the other side of that transformation. What is on the other side of that transformation, Spirit? Well, this is definitely equal give and take, generosity. Look at how happy she is. The ability to be abundant, the ability to share yourselves, share your gifts, share your works, right? And have them received well, and also be able to receive. You will be able to receive the equal balance that is given, that is rewarded, that is righteous and just for you, for the work that you've put in, because you've protected your energy, you've protected your stars, you've protected your work, you've protected your peace. Right. 7 of Cups, and you are not confused about it anymore. Taking 2 of Wands in the reverse, 7 of Wands in the reverse. Taking a lot of those options off the table. Those aren't even paths you're willing to walk down. And that is hugely transformational. And there ain't no going back. Now that you've made that decision, you've reclaimed your power, you are able to take a time out because they aren't getting at you. For eternity, you have given yourself permission to slow down. If it's something that's rushing you, you're not having a part of it. If it's causing stress, why? What is that from? Right? What does that need, that cause, that root base? The freedom from these situations that pull at your power, that try to direct your destiny, that try to take over your free will. You're done it over. You're done with that shit. Thank you, Hydrox. And this is six of Pentacles is here, right? The restoration of the balance in Libra season. Thank goodness this is coming through. 1616. There's that tower. What is it? It's deciding and taking out those options, not being confused anymore. Not going to head that way, not being confused about it. Let's get some symbols that we can look for. Let's get some tea leaf symbols we can look for. And then we will close up the reading for the day. Ancestors, what symbols should the collective be on the lookout for so that they know that they're on the right path? Right? What symbols should they have a lookout for so that they know that they're going the right way? Oh, look, I love this. Because it's letters and symbols that begin with the letter H. A bunch of things here. What do we get here? The letter H. Heart. Good things will come, such as money, if the heart is surrounded by dots. If the heart is surrounded by a ring, it indicates marriage. So keep your eye out for hearts, okay? Horseshoes, success in choosing a partner. See, there is love here, right? It's not that you're doing stuff on your own. It's that things will be of equal give and take. Things will be of equal balance. It's like freedom. What they say true partnership is where you feel like you're with something or part of something with someone, right? Whether that be friendships, partnerships, romantic, love, business, family, whatever it might be that you're partnering to, your work, your choices, right? What those things are. There's this idea of like choosing a good one. Horseshoe, success, right? The hourglass indicates imminent danger, and the house is a business success. So look, there's idea of, giving yourself time. Don't be, again, reclaiming your power by not being rushed into anything is really going to save you. It's gonna save you a ton of time. It's gonna save you a ton of worry. It's like, go quickly, but don't hurry. Do not be rushed into something. If someone's pushing you into doing something more quickly than what you're comfortable with, then they've got a motivation. They've got an ulterior motive. Be aware of that, right? This is Spirit reminding you that the freedom of those things, from those things, is yours by taking your time and having business success by partnering with the right ones, right? So now we have another letter there. Okay, which T to use? 4 cards came out. It says, it is advisable to use plain loose leaf tea without twigs, fruits, powders, or flowers. No chemically treated teas or fake flavorings should be used. So be on the lookout for inauthenticity, artificiality, bullshit, right? All of those things are red flags and indicators that that isn't a true, that isn't true. So inauthenticity takes you down the wrong path and leads you to places you don't want to be, leads to arguments later on down the road. Think about all those things, taking in the purity and remembering to be authentic yourself, because even if it seems harsh or it seems like a little bit out of focus, I would say like out of focus, but it's like a little out of the ordinary, a little out of like what everybody else is doing at that moment, that's standing in your power, that's reclaiming your power. And again, you don't have to like be loud about it. You just say, no, that's not how I feel about things. Being authentic, it's going to take you a lot further. It's going to be a lot more effective. It's a lot healthier, right? Than being fake. Be on the lookout for fake stuff. All right. Black or green tea. Chinese teas work well and create the best images for a reading. These teas contain various leaf sizes, which makes for a more distinct and detailed image in your teacup. Wow, what's closer, what's far away? That hummingbird was really close up. Was it an idea of perspective? What is right up in our face right now? Something is right up in your face right now, right? The seemingly impossible. It's not impossible. You can see it, but protect it. Keep your stars close to you, right? Wow. Loose teas should be stored in an airtight container away from direct sunlight. Again, that protection. Hold your stars and keep them close, right? Wow. And like, you know, that shadow, keep them away from direct sunlight. It's like you're trying to avoid having a light shined on something by someone who might have inauthentic, disingenuous, ulterior motives for the treasure in which you're holding, and you're protecting it by keeping it from being out there in the world until you are ready, until it is ready. And that is perfectly fine. The universe is telling you to slow down. 2111 right on my clock there. Okay. Note, black loose leaf tea is the easiest for the beginner. So look for what is simple first, right? Look for what is simple first. Look for what is standing out first. Absolutely. What have we got here? Letters and symbols beginning with the letter C. So now we had what? T, F, E, P, H, and C. All right. Wow. The next one after this one. Candle. Enlightenment. There is enough light for you to see your way, even if the situation is difficult. And again, that little one lumen, right? One little light. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, but at the same time, reclaiming your power by keeping things protected and not putting everything out into the light of day. Shine the light on what needs to be shined on, and other than that, keep your business to yourself, right? Car approaching wealth. Wow. So it's coming to you, and then like the freedom is yours, right? With that car and that horse, it feels like movement is now available to you. Castle, an inheritance, probably unexpected. Look at that. Look at that, because you did the right thing. You did what you protected your stuff. 2222, right? You held tight and you allowed the transformation to occur when things need to transform. You allowed that to happen. You protected yourself and your wealth through it. Cat, this is a good luck symbol, especially if found close to an arch. If it's next to a letter or a person, it signifies secrecy and independence. And the cat was here earlier, so we could back it up back into the video and find out exactly when Kibo jumped to what was that. And keep an eye out for cats in other instances too, where you just might randomly be hearing something that's ringing on the radio, like something the DJ is saying or something happening in the background, and then you happen to see a cat. Take note of it. That's spirit trying to get your attention, trying to tell you something, right? And of course, the panther is a cat. Reclaim your power. This is good luck. This is good luck. Now look, we have, they talk about that scorpionic energy, the transformation of something. Now we have death symbols. Something is definite. A time is definitely done and over with. There is something different now. What that was will never go back. There was a clear-cut ending, but what it did is it fertilized the ground that you're walking on. It fertilized into the next thing so that this can be reborn. Gestation happens in the darkness, right? Seeds sprout in the darkness. We heal in the darkness. Those are all important aspects of that rebirth process, right? So we can come back out into the light. Scorpio, maybe something has to do with Scorpio. Maybe it has something to do with Scorpio time coming up here. It says some people can be fearful of seeing negative symbols such as a skull, which could foretell death. However, it is important to remember that often these symbols don't refer to a physical death. A snake, for example, can mean illness. A bat can stand for misfortune or treachery, but not physical death. Death is not necessarily considered a negative experience in divination, but often it is interpreted as transitional period from one state to another. Exactly, you're transforming from one state into another, one state where your options were limited, right? Couldn't go down that road, couldn't go down that road. What did you do? You took a step back, right? Away from the argument, away from the fighting, away from the pettiness, maybe gossip, maybe a group of really immature people, maybe people trying to block your path. Look at that. You want to get through here? You got to fight me first. Got to pay the troll. You're like, no, I don't have to do that. I do not have to do that. And it was, what a tower. What a surprise. What a surprise as that came through, because you're like, I'm just not going to play that game anymore. I'm done and over with. And you moved away from it, and the reward of it is great. Absolutely. All right, we're going to get one message to close up. Spirit, what are we doing here? Celtic Healing Oracle. Celtic Healing Oracle. Woof. This is a big one today. Ancestors, spirits, guides. How would you like to close up this reading for us? What message would you like to leave us with today? Look, I'm not going to read the whole stack of cards, but we'll read what they say, and then we will definitely read the Morrigan, the Raven Goddess, Chaos. And on the bottom is Green Man, Renewal. It's like through the chaos comes the renewal. And what else was in this little stack? Thorn Tree, a sacred sign. That's what we're talking about, all these sacred signs. Oh, Serenonos, the antlered god, the lord of the animals. Remember the cat symbol. Listen to the animals here. Brown bear, take a time out, right? That hibernation process. Horse spirit, freedom is yours. Wild horses couldn't drag me. Okay, wells and thermal springs, returning to source. That wellspring, right? And again, yes, returning to source, that death and rebirth process. I mean, what? And then the knowledge obtained, the knowledge gained, and what have you learned? Absolutely. We're going to look into this chaos. Chaos, number 6. Again with the chaos kitten. Go back to where that was at the end of this. Go back to where that was, and we'll listen to what it was again, because there's a message there when she jumped on the chair. The Morrigan, the Raven Goddess, Chaos. The Morrigan presides at thresholds of change, especially in conflict. On the eve of battle, the Morrigan is the shape of a raven, hails the victor. Hovering over battle lines, she screams encouragement to favored and cries death to foes. Voraciously sensual, her couplings with gods and warriors render protection and fertility to the land. Her presence signals rapid change. You are approaching or are in the midst of rapid change. While the appearance of the goddess of war may appear sinister, she also clears the way for a new order once the chaos and confusion have passed. Following in her wake, you can quickly and even graciously rid yourself of attachments to material possessions, bankrupt relationships, and harmful or futile circumstances. Great psychological and spiritual progress is possible. Success depends on your conscious participation, as the changes now in progress are inevitable and you cannot change their course. However, by consciously observing and welcoming the changes, a new order may quickly appear, integrating remnants of your old life with new elements you'd never dreamed possible. You'd never dreamed possible. The impossible is like right there. It's possible. Say, I am possible. Is this possible? It is possible. Once the chaos settles, you will feel lighter and more carefree. Do not worry. Stay honest, clear, and forgiving, and giving others the opportunity to change of their own accord. Wow. Change of their own accord, and you change of your own accord. And again, this heavy duty theme here of the changes are here, the changes afoot, and the cycle, the death and rebirth cycle process is upon us. So accept it, because it's bringing in grace, it's bringing in beauty. Oh, it's bringing in freedom. Reclaim that power. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for remembering to hit like and subscribe if this resonated with you. And thank you for coming back and seeing us again next time. Bye.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Transformation in 3, 2, 1.